Disney doll story. Let's talk about Celia, the daughter of Dr. Facilier and Freddie's sister. But before we do that, Mal and Evie arrived. Yay! I ordered Uma, but I don't know when she's coming. I guess she will come when she wants to come. And of course, we still need to open up Evil Audrey, the Queen of Mean. We already opened Mal and Ben's royal engagement set, Dizzy and Mal the Dragon Queen in the previous videos, so go check them out. But in this video, let's talk about Celia. She's an errand girl to Hades in the movie. It says the cards are always right. It's good to be bad. She's a fortune teller by profession. She seems to embrace her witch doctor's powers fully. Now we have 2 witch doctors. Double the powers, double the trouble. In the Wicked World animated version, Freddie was already invited to Auradon, so now Celia is joining her sister. She's not going to be lonely. It looks like in the movie, Celia can definitely take care of herself. She might be younger, but definitely not someone to overlook. She's the type of person who knows somebody that knows somebody, and she knows about things even though she's not supposed to know things. The keeper of secrets, the go-betweener, which even without magic, it makes her a very powerful person. And then it got me thinking, I got 2 Dr. Facilier's daughters. What can I do with them? I didn't know what to do with Freddie when I first got her, so I used her as an all-around villain for everything. I had too many heroes and not enough villains in the story because everyone turned to the hero's side. So I used Freddie for, well, almost anything and everything. But now that I have 2 of them, it feels like these 2 girls deserve a special series. So I started thinking, researching, and then things got complicated. Because what do I know about the American South? Not much. I'm given 2 girls from culturally distinctive and no less exotic than any other part of the world. Less explored and less academically analyzed than European literatures. I'm given a very perplexing theme to work with. So if I were to write stories about girls from the South, what do I have to do? When I hear the word Southern literature, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Southern Gothic. Some of the writers of this genre are Edgar Allan Poe, there is Anne Rice, of course there is more serious work like To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, and no one else does scary stuffs quite like the Americans. They pretty much invented this type of storytelling. The Princess and the Frog is also filled with scary imageries like masks of shadows and talismans. But what if I want to expand? The Southern literature is way more than that. Next thing that comes to my mind is the historical dramas, usually set in plantations, the French Quarter, the Civil Wars, the old color writing. There's also the Southwestern humor, which influenced writers like Mark Twain. It usually portrays the South as a mysterious and wondrous place, filled with magical adventures. But what does it mean for Descendants? Celia is wearing more ethnic-looking clothes with sort of African-looking stripes and patterns. She looks more tomboyish than her sister in this sort of tuxedo-inspired dress, probably trying to make her look more like her father. Although, in the other version of Freddie, she's wearing pretty ethnic-looking clothes too. But in this version, Freddie's dress seems to be more inspired from French fashion. Celia also comes with a tiny hat, just like her sister, but her hat looks more evil. Celia has very minimal makeup than her sister. Freddie comes with African tribal makeups. Celia doesn't. Celia's elbows are locked, but her knees can bend. On the hat, she wears the mark of the voodoo spirit. Dr. Facilier also wore a hat with this similar looking symbol. Does it mean something if someone wears this hat? Freddie doesn't have this mark. She comes with these gray fashion boots. They look gorgeous. You know, Celia wasn't invited to Auradon because King Ben thinks she's good. She was invited to Auradon because they were going to bring the barrier down. Dr. Facilier's advice to Celia was that she make sure she gets her cut. When she heard the barrier will never be opened, Celia mentioned how she'd rather be on the aisle if she had to make a choice. I get the feeling Celia isn't really ready to give up the villainous ways. Anyway, as I was saying, I started thinking of different cultural writing, not just incorporating different elements from the original movies, but are there distinctively different storytelling methods in different cultures? I have a lot of dolls from diverse cultures. There's Lonnie, sort of representing the East Asian cultures, Jay and Jordan from Middle Eastern, Princess Elena from Latin America. I looked up what is American Southern literature storytelling methods. Apparently, stories don't really have a moral to the story. They also use a lot of different unreliable narrators, sort of different people telling you different versions of the same story. I was already thinking of doing sort of to the West style of series with Lonnie. Apparently, this is a type of storytelling that were quite popular and influential in ancient Asian novels. You have to reach a mythical city, usually set to the west, and you meet various people along the way. As for Jay and Jordan, I was thinking of doing sort of adventures through these stories in 1001 Nights, or simply known as the Arabian Nights. Some of the common themes in this type of genre are use of fate and destiny. They also use story within story technique, and of course, the heavy use of poetry. And as for Elena, the first ever Latin princess, I'm still doing some research. I don't know what makes something distinctively South American. Some of the most common themes in Latin American literature seems to revolve around a family tragedy. I guess I'll keep going with that theme until something else inspires me. So what can I do with Freddie and Celia? I want to make them powerful. I like the idea of sister powers. Maybe it's time they go back to their root and explore the backwoods of New Orleans. In a lot of old Southern literature, the Southern frontier was portrayed as a very magical place. I'm still looking for something that defines Freddie and Celia as someone more than just the daughters of Dr. Facilier and witch doctors. Hopefully I'll come across something that will inspire me and write about something with these two sisters.